Hi everyone, I'm Miss Wendy and thanks for joining me for another Wiggles, Jiggles, and Giggles session. So we're going to get started. Get out your scarf. I'm going to put our song on. Let's see. Here we go.
Shake your scarves.
Ready?
Scarves up, scarves down. Shake your scarves all around. Scarves up, scarves down. Shake your scarves all around. Scarves in, scarves out. Shake your scarves all about. Scarves in, scarves out. Shake your scarves all about. Right knee,
Find that knee.
left knee. Shake your scarves fancy free. Right knee, left knee. Shake your scarves fancy free. Right hand, left hand. Shake your scarves with the band. Right hand, left hand. Shake your scarves with the band. On your back, on your tummy. Shake your scarves nice and funny. On your back, on your tummy. Shake your scarves nice and funny. Scarves up, scarves down. Put your scarves on the ground.
Ready to clap. Excellent. And remember, we'll be using our rhythm sticks a little bit later. Okay? So while you have all of your packet stuff spread all over, get out your bee finger puppet, and we are going to do our Bumblebee on My Nose song, okay? Remember last year, if you joined us during the summer, we did butterflies, so today it's a bumblebee. All right, let's start out. A bumblebee on my nose, a bumblebee on my nose. Hi-ho, just watch me blow a bumblebee on my nose. You blow your bumblebee off. Where's it gonna fly? Where's it gonna land? A bumblebee on my elbow. A bumblebee on my elbow. Hi-ho, just watch me blow a bumblebee on my elbow. You blow that bumblebee off. It's gonna fly around. It's gonna land on your shoulder. A bumblebee on my shoulder. A bumblebee on my shoulder. Hi-ho, just watch me blow a bumblebee on my shoulder. Blow it off. And then it's gonna land on your head. A bumblebee on my head. A bumblebee on my head. Hi-ho, just watch me blow a bumblebee on my head. This might be a little harder to blow. And blow that little bumblebee away. Very nice. So our first story is Bumblebee Dance by Rick Krostowski. It's amazing that bumblebees, they do have a dance. If you ever see them in some museums, you might see a hive and it's glass so they can't get to you, and there'll be a really, really busy bee because it's sending out the signals of where the other bees need to go and find their nectar and pollen. When sunlight warms your honeybee wings, off you go on flower patrol. Follow a sweet scent floating on air to find a honeybee gold mine. A prairie in bloom. So beautiful. Sip sugary nectar with your bendy straw tongue. Yum. Race home. Here's that beehive. Climb the beeswax comb. Excitement buzzes all around. The other bees know that you have news. Do the waggle dance, honeybee. Make a figure 8. Twirl in a circle. Wag your body up the middle run. Then twirl around the other side. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Waggle faster, honeybee. Buzz louder. Your dance points the way to the prairie. How long you waggle your body tells the others how far to go. Now the bees know just where to fly. Soon they see flowers reaching towards the sky. Those beautiful colors. Go to work, forage your bees, collect nectar to make honey. Stuff pollen into baskets on your hind legs. Stay out late. Carry your heavy prize back to the hive. The last glow of sunset lights your way home. Unload your cargo and store it in the combs, then settle in for the night. When you wake up, warm your honeybee wings in the morning sun and dance the prairie jitterbug once again. And that's the end. It's a good book. Well, it's a great book, actually. And it lets us know how bees communicate with each other. And we all know bees are so important. And they're not to be, you shouldn't be afraid of them because they won't hurt you. If they're just flying by, they're going to leave you alone. Okay? So get out your flannel board, a beehive, and then you should have 5 little bees. And your flannel board story. So are you ready to do this with me? One little bee flew and flew. Put him on the beehive. He met a friend, and that made 2. Here we go, 2 little bees. 2 little bees, busy as could be. Along came another, and that made 3. 3 little bees wanted one more. Found one soon, and that made 4. 4 bees now. 4 little bees going to the hive spied their little brother, and that made, how many do we have? 5. 5 little bees working every hour. Buzz away, bees, and find another flower. Good job, everybody. Put that to the side, and let's get out the rhythm sticks. Put our song on. Get ready to do the weather. Hope the sun is shining by you today. It's trying to peek through over here where I am.
It's time to make some weather rhythms.
Maybe we'll get the sun
sticks or
after we do our
claves
song.
or 2 chopsticks, or you can even do it with your hands. Ready? I like sunshine. I like sunshine. I like sunshine. I like sunshine. But then a little rain begins to fall. Softly at first, getting louder and louder until it's a thunderstorm. Boom! 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 Let's make some lightning in the sky.
Rub your sticks together.
And then the wind starts to blow. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. And it turns icy cold, 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 icy cold. And then the rain turns into snow, which makes no sound at all. Make the snow come
Make
down.
your snow come down with your fingers. Use your fingers. There you go.
Then the wind comes along and it blows the snow around. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. And the snow turns back into rain, hard at first, but getting softer and softer until it's just a gentle pit, pat, pit, pat, pit, pat, pit, pat, pit, pat, pit, pat, pit, pat. And then the sun comes out. I like sunshine. I like sunshine. I like sunshine. I like sunshine. And when the sun comes out,
Make a rainbow.
just as the rain is ending, a beautiful rainbow appears in the sky. Make the rainbow with your sticks or your hands. And one puff of the wind
We do it. Ready?
blows the rainbow away. And that's the weather for today.
Excellent job. Let's switch over CDs because we'll have our scarf song at the end. Don't forget about that. Let's put that CD back in there. Okay, our next book is Bees. And it's written by Catherine Pryor. So a little girl named Beatrix. It's not often be called Bee. Beatrix heard a humming as she walked through the park on her way home from school. She followed the sound to a hollow oak tree. A cloud of wild bumblebees flew in and out of a hidden beehive like it's the world's busiest airport. These pages, new books, the pages tend to stick together. You can open that up. Bee crept closer. The bees flew zigzags and crazy eights. They hovered and dove. They zipped out first, but flew home slowly. Their tiny bodies weighed down with pollen and nectar. Bee visited the hive every day. She watched the bees flit from flower to flower, buzzing with happiness as they collected food for their families. Then one day, the tree was silent. A lonely butterfly circled the oak tree looking for its friends. Its friends were gone. The next day at school, Bee told her teacher what happened. "Where did my bees go?" she asked. "I don't know," the teacher sighed. "Sometimes bees just disappear." Bee didn't like that one bit. How could a whole hive disappear? The park was quiet as she walked home. Bee looked toward the oak tree, but even the butterfly was gone. Then Bee noticed something else. The flowers around the oak tree had been cut down. Beatrix knew that bees like flowers. It is how they get all their food. The next time Bee's class went to the library, Bee rushed for the librarian. "What type of flowers do bees like?" "I don't know," the librarian said. "Let's find out." Bee read everything she could about bees. She learned that they like to eat pollen and nectar from lots of different flowers and that they needed lots of open space to find them. Bee also learned that bees are a type of pollinator, which means that they carry pollen from flower to flower. There we go, it's stuck pages again. Without bees, blueberry, raspberry, and pumpkin plants would not be able to turn their flowers into fruit. There would be no more apples or almonds or avocados. Without bees, some of Beatrix's favorite foods would disappear. Bee began to make a plan. In the early wet days of spring, Bee planted wildflower seeds around the base of her tree. She planted mint and clover and sunflowers. The seedlings began to sprout. The flowers began to bloom. But the tree stayed silent. Bee did her science fair project on bees. She handed out wildflower seeds to everyone at school and asked them to help feed the bees. All over the neighborhood, their seedlings sprouted. Their flowers bloomed. Still, the tree was silent. Beatrix began to lose hope. She sat by her tree and cried sad tears at the thought of losing her bees forever. Then she heard it. A single bumblebee buzzed past, landing on one of the flowers. She saw another and another. Bees flew out of a nest in the ground near the hollow oak tree. They hovered and dove. They flew zigzags and crazy eights. They zipped out to find pollen and nectar. They flew home slow and fat to feed their family. Bees were back. So at the end of this book, it just tells you some more facts about bees and what you can do to encourage bees into your neighborhood. And it gives you some different flowers. This is what Bee grew in her garden and what bees and butterflies are really attracted to. And of course you can learn more if you call us to the library. We can help you find some books on that. Speaking of which, you do have a bibliography in your little bag this week about bees, and some of the books listed in there are factual, so it will give you facts and information about what bees do and how we can help them. And your recipe, the recipes included are recipes that need honey. So in your bag, now this wouldn't be enough to make your recipe, but in your bag there is a honey stick. So go ahead and try the honey if you haven't tried it, okay? Sometimes you can substitute sugar and things like that for the honey. People like it in tea. Let me just put it up against here so you can see it a little better. There you go. And your art project this week, you have, looks like a honeycomb, sort of, and a little bag with a flower and some cotton wools and a cotton ball and bees. And this is just pasta. And what I did, and you should have glue, so make some honeycomb with the pasta and the little bit of cotton ball for the flower so it could look like pollen, and then just glue your bees on. And you can do this wherever. You don't even have to fill in 3. You could just do 1 if you want to. Add the bees, and that's your art project for this week. Just to remind us how the pollen goes to the hive and the bees and the honey. That's it for this week. There are a couple other books I wanted to point out to you. This is a really nice book about bees tracking where they're going back to the hive to let people know, the other bees, not people, to let the other bees know where to get their pollen. And this book, I was going to read it to you, but it's really a long book, so this book would be more for at home. And it's These Bees Count by Alison Formento. So if you would like to read this, just call the library and we will try and get a copy. We will get a copy for you and put that aside. Okay, my little friends, that's about it for this week. Next week, our stories are about dragons. So there we go, our dragons. So get your scarf out. We'll put our final scarf song on, and then you can head out into the sunshine if it's shining by you, or head out into the park and get some fresh air. Okay, here we go. There we go.
Scarves up and down and around.
Got your scarf?
The scarves are softly flowing, left, right, left. The scarves are softly flowing, left, right, left. Up and down and around, up and down and around, up and down, up and down, up and down and around. The scarves are softly floating, release them up in the air. Catch! The scarves are softly floating, release them up in the air. Catch! Up and down and around, up and down and around, up and down, up and down, up and down and around. Release them up in the air. Watch them float to the ground. Release them up in the air. Watch them float to the ground. Sing it. Up and down and around, up and down and around, up and down, up and down, up and down and around. The stars are softly flowing, left, right, left. The stars are softly flowing, left, right, left. Up and down and